Here's a real common question. People will say, I thought interest rates had to be 1% lower in order for it to make sense for me to refinance. That's not true. Let me explain why. There's a lot of important factors to consider when deciding if refinancing makes sense. Three really important ones are interest rate, loan amount, and closing costs. You see, when you take the interest rate and apply it to the loan amount over the term of the loan, that's how you come up with a monthly payment. That monthly payment is going to be a whole lot different if it's a $100,000 loan versus a $1 million loan. If you're following that 1% rule, a 1% drop on a $100,000 loan only reduces the payment by about $60 or $65 a month. However, on a $1 million loan, that same 1% drop in interest rate is about $650 a month savings. So now we have to start looking at closing costs. Believe it or not, a lot of the loan costs on a $100,000 refinance are very similar to what they would be on a $1 million refinance. Yes, there are some differences, but just because the loan amount is 10 times more, it doesn't mean the closing costs are 10 times more. So it's really important to look at what the costs are associated with the loan and then compare that to what the potential savings could be if you went ahead and refinanced. A simple calculation I like to do is take the total closing cost and divide it by the monthly potential savings. That will tell you how long it will take to recoup the closing cost with the monthly savings. Once you have an idea of what that number will be, you know generally how long it will take to recoup the cost to refinance, and then you can make your decision based on that data. So looking at it that way, you can see why there's not a standard 1% rule if it makes sense to refinance. A 1% lower rate on a $100,000 loan might not even be enough to make it worthwhile to refinance. On the flip side, if you had a $1 million loan, just a 0.25% lower interest rate could be enough to make it make sense for you to want to refi. Every situation is a little bit different. That's why it makes sense to talk with an experienced loan officer who can go over all available options.